Coach Jeff Hopkins on standby. Jeff, thanks for taking the time to chat to us. Can I dare ask if you're happy with that first half?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
I won't disappoint you today. No, I was really pleased with the way that we went about the first half. We talked about getting balls in between the two centre backs and the full backs, getting them turned and defending in their own back third, and we did that really well right from the start. So Lisa's been excellent right across the front. Melina Ayres has been great. Mindy Barbieri, our front three, have been excellent, and they've been supported really well by Kyra, Flea and Amy Jackson. So really pleased with the way we've gone about things.
Hey Jeff, Emma here. Just a quick one. We've noticed that there's a change with Zimmerman. Was that a tactical change?
No, not really. You saw Annalie go down, and she's got a nasty cork on her quad, so we know it's only going to get better if she plays more game time. She most probably could have stayed on, but with the game coming up on Wednesday, we thought safer to take her off, and Zim needs a bit of game time as well, so that she would have been on in the next 10 or 15 anyway.
Yeah, well, Jeff, it looks like at this rate you're going to need her for finals football. Good luck for the second half, and thanks for taking time to chat to us today.
Thanks, Steph. Cheers.
Jeff Hopkins there, Melbourne Victory head coach. Emma Checker, he sounds happy. That's cool.
Yeah, wow. I think we're both a little bit stunned. No, it is good to see. You can obviously sense there's a little bit of relief for him starting the second half with those 2 goals, and much like the players, there's no way that he wants it to come down to the last game against Sydney either.
Certainly doesn't. You mentioned the change, Catherine Zimmerman back into the side. That's important for Victory to have her.
Oh, absolutely. She was phenomenal at the start of the season for them, and it's great to see her back on the pitch and getting game time ready to hopefully go into the finals series.
So Longo taking a break, another one that Jeff Hopkins will be needing to call on during the finals. Finish their season on Wednesday in Sydney. Devanna sends it rolling forward, crossed in for, Ayres was close but not close enough. No whistle as Cooney-Cross stays in the contest. Still on for Kyra Cooney-Cross, and now it is brought to a halt. Liz Anton intervening on that occasion, her first corner of this second half for Melbourne Victory.
What is it? You got it? Yeah. Closer. I got this one. Closer.
Listen to the chat inside the goalmouth. Ball in from Cooney-Cross. Plenty of heads there, and there is another goal for Melbourne Victory. Fantastic work, so close after the break. And wonderful work from the substitute on the board already.
What a great finish. That is a rock-solid header, and it's just perfectly timed, and you can see from the response by Perth, they didn't even have the chance to respond to that and react. It was a great goal, great finish, and I mean, if Jeff wasn't already happy, I think he'll be pretty thrilled with that goal now, and going into the rest of the half at 3-0 puts them in a very good, comfortable position.
So Claudia Bunge on the score sheet. And Melbourne Victory are 3 to the good, and what a confident way for them to start their look at a final series. One must send a shout out to the women of Adelaide United, who came so very close to a final series. They built beautifully into this season. But you'd have to think that now Victory are assured in that top 4.
Yeah, you'd say they're pretty comfortable now with getting a result here, but like you touched on, it is very disappointing for Adelaide. They've had such a great season. They've been working so hard, and you could just see in the way that they were playing, they had so much confidence and quality, and it's always hard going into the final series dependent on other results to make it. But yeah, definitely a tough one for them there, but I'm sure there's still, you know, they'll wait until the end of the game, but like we touched on at 3-0, it would be hard to see a lot changing now.
Well, New Zealander Claudia Bunge making sure that Melbourne Victory are 3 goals to the good. After Melina Ayres with 2 in the first half. Bunge, another one of the internationals that would be hoping to have a match in that FIFA window. Nothing doing for New Zealand, as it's all so challenging to get these players together when they're spread all across the world. How is the feeling amongst the players based here as we see all pumped forward for Perth Glory? Emma, how is the feeling for the players in the W League? Of course, there's a lot of intent now for those wanting to be in the mix to try and get to Europe, but was it disappointing or more understandably? So we see Glory on the attack again. Kat Jukic this time. Could still be on for Jukic. She rolls it back. They seem to get in each other's way there. Lowry there for a moment. Drops for Jukic temporarily. Now Lowry, Hannah Lowry, straight into the breadbasket for Gabby Garton.
It's still good to see Perth just working so hard up front there, and we just keep seeing Jukic involved in the play, and Hannah Lowry's got such a cracking left foot, so it's good to see her backing herself, having a chance there.
Well, very quickly, let me try and finish that thought. How did the W League players feel when they realised that, you know, the situation just meant they weren't going to be able to travel for that international?
Yeah, look, it's obviously hard, but at the same time, I think the one thing that all of us have learned is that we just have to adapt and adjust, and there's so many uncontrollables, and we have to be understanding of decisions that we wouldn't have necessarily needed to respond to in the past. And, you know, it does bring about additional challenges and difficulties, but at the same time, it's challenging and difficult for everyone. So we just have to work together and, you know, do what we can with what's on hand.
Yep, indeed, that is the case. Challenging and difficult to catch cries of pretty much most of this season, but now we look positively towards the final series. Of course, there'll be a match on Easter Sunday, and that I believe will involve the team finishing second on the table. And then on Easter Monday, there will be another clash. We'll confirm those matchups after Wednesday's clash between Melbourne Victory and Sydney FC. That match, if you're just joining us, could also decide the winner of this year's Premier's Plate. So the Premiership is still very much up for grabs after Sydney and Canberra had a scoreless draw. Were you surprised by that result, Emma?
Yeah, look, I think it's similar to what we touched on earlier about if you don't score early, it's really hard in those games when there's so much to play for. They can almost be the hardest ones to score in. And, I mean, we saw Michelle Heyman still, you know, chances on goal. She's just had a phenomenal season and unfortunate to miss the net. So I think, you know, when you look at how much there was to play for, it's not really a surprise if you understand, you know, the game of football and how games can turn out. But in saying that, we haven't seen a 0-0 in a little while.
Well, Davana hoping to another one to the victory score. Shade off the crossbar from Cooney-Cross. It drops again. This time it could be in. What a goal. Catherine Zimmerman, the substitute, scores. And that means it is Melbourne Victory 4, Perth Glory 0. Oh, look at the build-up to this one.
What a strike by Cooney-Cross. And again, we're just seeing Davana, Cooney-Cross, Zimmerman already in the play. It's just, they've got such a threatening line up front. And it's just really great to see that they're not ending at 3. They want 4, they want more. They know how much this game means. And this is a big part of their momentum moving into that final game against Sydney. And now momentum in terms of wanting to win the Premiership Plate. It's not enough just to make finals. There's still so much to play for Victory.
Well, the two internationals on the score sheet in this second half. Archie Thompson, there's no time to catch your breath.
Yeah, look, it's obviously exciting for Melbourne Victory leading into a game that's so important on Wednesday against Sydney. They needed that confidence, and for poor Perth, I mean, you've got to feel sorry for them. Obviously going through a season without winning a game, but Cooney-Cross, she just gets better and better each week. I feel like I'm repeating myself because every game that I see, it's the way that she attacks. We saw glimpses in the first half with the left foot. She's got the power on the right with that goal, and I was really impressed with Zimmerman's first touch to be able to bring that down and just slot it nicely home. So everything seems to be slotting into place leading into that really important game on Wednesday.
Certainly does, and well, you bang on about Cara Cooney-Cross. She's been fantastic. Of course, she had 2 seasons with Victory from 27 to 2019, then had a stint with the Wanderers in their wonderful season in the last edition. Young Matilda as well. Now Perth on the attack, hoping to perhaps craft something that could see them get perhaps a goal back in this match, but Katarina Jukic dispossessed. Cooney-Cross, one of those promising young players that we're seeing come through. I've mentioned so many of them this season in the W League, but just goes from strength to strength.
Absolutely. I think, like Archie said, it feels like we're on repeat with her. She's had such a phenomenal season. She's come back to victory in fine form, and you'd have to say that she's catching the eye of the national team, the Matildas, and obviously being a young Matilda already, but she's just been such a core part of the success of this team this year.
Well, it is the young and the future Matildas, if you like, that have been able to gather for camps in Australia. Wonderful to see the next generation being brought through so confidently by Ray Dower and her team. As we wait with much excitement for the upcoming fixtures for the senior Matildas. Same day as grand final day, that'll be a very busy one. Well, chance again here for victory, and well, Angie Beard skews it wide. We see again Angie Beard's so quick.
Oh, she's lightning, and just the way that she can shift the ball and shift her pace so quickly. She's got a great left foot, and now we're not only seeing her balls into the boxes across, we're seeing her taking chances on goal as well.
Time to mention that we have Mariana Tabane on the park for Perth Glory. Cheryl Lambos, the player to make way. Ball rolls through again for Melbourne victory, just flashing wide of Lily Alfeld's goal. Could have been 5.
You can just feel how much victory are getting on top of this game now. We've seen the ball played in their attacking half majority of this second half already, and as much as Perth are, they're still pushing, they're fighting. Maybe legs starting to tire a little bit, but it's almost like victory are just getting started out here now.
So Sydney FC will be watching this game with interest. How do you see that one playing out on the midweek?
I think it's going to be a cracking game. Like we keep saying, there's still so much to play for, and even just the fact that whoever then wins that game, you know, goes in with not only a home semi, but providing you make the grand final, it's a home grand final. So there is a lot to play for beyond just the premiership plate. There's that advantage that comes within the final series. So I think it'll be a great game, and I don't think the tired legs of victory will even come into it when there's that much on the line. There's, you know, it's like you find this extra spring in your step.
Yeah, Sydney with home ground advantage. And then certainly finals football in store for the Sky Blues. Will it be as holders of the Premier Plate? They will be revealed on Wednesday as Melina Ayres picks up possession for victory. And Devanna through to Cooney-Cross, who charges down. She's seen the run of Devanna. It's back to Melina Ayres, still Ayres. And she found a way through the Perth Glory defence. Fortunately not to one of her own. Another chance on now for Angela Beard. Nice footwork off the side of the boot, but intercepted by the Glory. Now victory set up once more. Morrison switching to the far side. I wonder how much it's taking mentally for Perth Glory to keep up the energy and the pace that we saw in the first half. It's disappointing for a side that was hoping to collect 3 points at least once this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It does start to become a little bit demoralising and crushing when you are conceding that many goals, but I think, you know, this is a team, like we keep saying, with a lot of spirit, a lot of character and fight, and they won't want this lead to get out anymore, and they've still, you know, got so much to play for and trying to get at least a goal back. You want to finish on some form of high, and we saw the other night when, I mean, we came up against them, that goal that they finished with, it was solid, and they play to the end. There's always something on the line for them. They're a team that won't give up, so I think we'll still see them pushing through for the full 90.
Sponge, goal scorer just after the half-time break. I thought that sealed it before Zimmerman popped up with a goal. Now Devanna down the right. Dora nipping up to help out, still with Devanna. She's spotted teammates in the area, punched away by Alfeld, drops for Cooney-Cross. Cooney-Cross gets a foot under it, and there is a 5th goal for Melbourne victory. Kyra Cooney-Cross, well deserved. All her build-up work in the first half. Now she's got one of her own.
Oh, it's great to see Kyra Cooney-Cross getting on the score sheet there. She's done so much hard work in getting her teammates on the score sheet. It's nice to see her get one for herself. And again, such a great first touch in the box, under pressure, slides in, and it's just a slick finish there by Kyra.
Well, it's beyond doubt now. Melbourne victory are just looking ahead and thinking, wow, where does this take us? Could they go from outside the finals to a premiership and then a championship? It's been a while since we've seen them up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, there's no reason why they can't. The performance that they're putting on today is just showing the quality of this group of girls and this team. They're turning it on. They're not stopping. They're wanting to finish on a high, and they've already got 5, and we've still got so long to play.
Well, I can imagine that every Sydney FC player watching this match from home will be saying, no way, that Premier's plate is ours. So we'll see what happens on the weekend as we see Tiff Eliadis make her way on. Leah Privatelli as well. Amy Jackson making way. So the victory players getting some miles into the legs of the bench as well. He now knows that he'll need to call on many of these players over the coming fortnight. As Devanna walks over to take a seat. Lisa Devanna's shift finished for this week, and she'll go and rest those legs for that clash up in Sydney on Wednesday.
I think the good thing for Victory now with having such a strong lead is they can start to be smart in the game time that some players have. Obviously, Jeff will want to rest the legs of a number of players with such a quick turnaround and with that game meaning so much.
Well, if Jeff Hopkins was happy before the break, you would think he must be... He doesn't look it, but you'd think he must be ecstatic now.
He's still got his game face on, but I would say he'd be sitting there feeling pretty thrilled.
So up to Glory now, just to make sure that they play out this season in the proud way that they've come through to this final match. Steinmetz can't find a white shirt further up the field, and just to confirm that this win will take the Melbourne victory up to 23 points, puts them in second, albeit temporarily. Brisbane Roar and Canberra on 22 apiece will make out the 4. Adelaide United drop out of the top 4, but congratulations on a wonderful season to the women in red. And does amazing things to Melbourne victory's goal difference, as well as Katarina Jukic tries to push forward and open up an opportunity for Perth Glory. So a goal difference of 11 now for Melbourne victory. Unless the Glory can put a dent on that. Throw for the Glory. It's dropped back nicely and well defended by Melbourne victory. Standing ready, another corner. Perth Glory from the far side. Will this be the opportunity they need? Well, it's a nice delivery into the middle, cleared by Morrison. Back in. Tabane got a foot to it, rolling harmlessly beyond Gabby Garton's goal. talked about that sunshine that had appeared, making it oh so warm here at Epping Stadium. I can tell you I'm ready to put a jacket on again.
Yeah, it's time to go searching for the puffer jacket. 4 seasons in a day.
Zimmerman back to Bunge. 2 of the internationals on the park. Here's the other, Kayla Morrison from the USA. Zimmerman up to Beard. And Victory prepared to be quite patient, and the Glory captain some urgency from her players.
Just a clumsy foul in there by Perth, but you can see that Victory are trying to keep the ball a little bit more now. The more they keep it, the less they need to run, so it's smart to, you know, keep in that controlled possession.
Well, that's nice. Melbourne Victory charging once more towards the goal. Plenty of players in waiting. Privatelli on that occasion, finding space on the far side. So another substitution being made.
Here we go, Sarah. Lift it, Sarah.
Sarah Carroll coming on for Perth Glory.
Yellow boots, Bears, you got the other one. Double back, Dougie!
Stalwart of the Perth defence for so many years, Sarah Carroll. Be there to shore up that back line. Malia Steinmetz the one to make way for the 26-year-old Carroll. 81 appearances for Perth Glory today. Seeing so many players edge up towards that 100 mark. Emma shows the growth and extent of the W League, albeit in such a short season. It's hard to rack up the numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's nice to see, though, is that we are retaining players in a way that we didn't in the past. And obviously now with where the league has got to, and obviously, you know, there's always growth to make, but we have reached a point where we can keep players for longer, and that's why we are seeing more players reach those milestones. But like you said, it's hard to reach in a short season, so it is a big achievement.
And how much more challenging is it becoming? I mean, you're one of those players that always strives to get home for at least some of the season, coming back from Fleury in France this year, albeit with an injury, which wasn't the happiest of situations. But how tricky is it becoming with all the different leagues and trying to line them up and actually stay in the W League to any extent?
It is really challenging. I mean, obviously there's less and less seasons that do align and fit in between the W League, and obviously with the curveball that COVID threw at all of us, that changed things even further. So it is tough, and a lot of the European leagues obviously do require a long-term commitment in terms of the season length and contract length. So it is becoming harder for girls to get home and, you know, juggle the difference between where to play in the off-season, where to come back, when to come home. So it is hard, but I think most girls do are really good at juggling it in a way that works for them, and you do just have to find that balance that's right for you.
Do you think, albeit a situation that was forced due to COVID and the myriad issues that happened all around the world, the mix of youth and experience in the W League has really worked for some of these teams, right?
I think it's been great to see. Like, we keep pointing out a number of the young girls, and that they are shining in a way that they haven't had the opportunity to in the past.
Well, Eliadis back to Beard now, and Victory hungry to add another one off the left foot of Angie Beard, and I think she was hoping to find the head of Melina Ayres. Didn't quite come off on that occasion.
Angie's just threatening all the time, and you can just see, even though it didn't quite pull off, she was so calm and composed in that moment. She was looking for the right ball, but again, it was well defended by the Perth defence line there.
Well, tough old road trip for Perth Glory. Trying not to let their heads drop as they take on this Melbourne Victory machine that has just come out firing on all cylinders in this match today. Now with the captain, Natasha Rigby. Oh, quite a agricultural style challenge there from Catherine Zimmerman.
Yeah, it's an interesting tackling technique there. It looked like a little bit of a rugby tackle.
Well, it will mean a free kick for Victory now, albeit as much as we want to give kudos to Perth for building throughout the season. How much can you read into the 5-0 scoreline here, Emma?
Oh, look, it's a very challenging scoreline, and I think Perth, you know, they came out hard. They're still pushing for a goal. Even now we're seeing them try to keep the ball, but the reality is Victory have just been an absolute powerhouse. They've had so many chances. They've been good on their chances. It's hard to score 5 goals in a game, and especially with all of the short turnarounds, they're not showing any signs of fatigue as an excuse out here. And I think it is really great to see Victory finding this form, leading into finals and going into such a big game against Sydney.
Well, and that's the next tussle. It's a massive clash of heads between Melina Ayres and Natasha Rigby. I thought I could hear that from here. Maybe it was their boots connecting, and picks up a yellow card for her trouble.
Yeah, that was a brutal knock, actually, and I'm amazed at how fast Tash Rigby's gotten off the ground there. She's an absolute trooper, and she's shown a lot of fight in this game. She's an incredible leader for this group, a great person, and you can just see in the way that she gets up so quickly that there's still so much to play for them.
Well, that's the last interjection of Melina Ayres in this game. A brace for the number 14 as she makes her way off to be replaced by Natalie Martineau. 8th appearance on debut with the Victory in the W League this season. 4-time champions with South Melbourne in the WNPL, and she'll get some minutes in this penultimate match of the regular season for the Navy Blue. So Rigby gets us underway again with Perth Glory. McKenna, youngest player on the park today, Tian McKenna. Wallhead swap sides. Nice work from Perth. Need to hang on to it though. Hannah Lowry retrieves. Under pressure from Privatelli. Lowry keeps possession, sends a little bit too far. Polly Doran replies.
It was a good little patch of play there by Perth. Unfortunate to play the ball too far in front, but they've just kept the ball so well there for about, I reckon it would have been about 10 passes, and it was calm and composed, and we keep touching on the young players. It's just so great to see Hannah Lowry doing so well in there.
100%. Now it's Angie Beer down the near side for the Victory. She's got Zimmerman outside of her. Checking for options, goes to Martineau. Back to Beard, who loses possession, and the experienced Sarah Carroll showing what she can do. Carroll had, this is her 10th appearance this season, a couple off the bench. So Zimmerman tries to go through, and that was neat work from Liz Anton. New Zealand interjecting herself into play, forcing a turnover, and McKenna again getting play underway here. Barbieri to settle things down once more for the Victory as a substitute. Ready and waiting for Perth Glory on the halfway mark. Hearing that it might be Katarina Jukic who bids farewell. A chance for, albeit an away crowd, to thank her for her service to the W League. And certainly the urgency, as we would expect, has completely gone from this game. 5-0. Bit of a hill too high to climb as we see the opportunity for this substitution coming now, and it will be Alexia Marino that comes on. And it is Kat Jukic handing the armband back to regular captain Natasha Rigby, and a round of applause from the spectators here. Congratulations to Katarina Jukic. 38 W League and Perth Glory appearances. 3 goals in that time. And bidding farewell to the W League for the final time. Hopefully she won't be lost to it, and we'll see her in and amongst the club in another role at some point soon. It's always sad to say goodbye to players, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as much as it is a really tough scoreline for the Perth girls and for Kat to finish on, I think we've seen a really great performance from her. She started strong in the first half. She worked really hard up front for the girls, and you can see that she's a big part of this group.
Sure is now Rigby with her ever-present energy. Oh, Anton able to hold on to that, and that one dropped very nicely indeed for Cara Cooney-Cross. Still Cooney-Cross now one-on-one with the keeper. What a shot! Cara Cooney-Cross, that's 2 for her today. What a cracking finish. Cara Cooney-Cross, take a bow. Melbourne Victory now up 6-0.
Oh, that is just an absolute banger. I feel like I'm lost for words with that shot. Look at her pace when she's the first touch. She's at speed with the ball, beats her defender, and it's just a cracking finish.
Well, what an incredible and dominant performance from Melbourne Victory. Cooney-Cross all smiles. So many assists in the first half, and was happy to help out a teammate. Pinpoint crosses and 2 goals for Cooney-Cross today. So ticking ever towards the 80-minute mark. About 15 minutes left of this match. Wonder what Victory's got in store for the last 15. Will they have had enough at 6-0?
It doesn't look like it. I think, you know, they're pushing for more and more, and here we go again. Kara's on the break, but now she's on 2. She's next in line to give a hat-trick a go, but Victory are just absolutely on fire. They're so clinical with their finishing, and that's a big part of why they are 6-0 up. They started a little bit slow in terms of taking those chances, but every chance they've had at the moment is just resulting in a goal.
Well, 80 minutes ago, Melbourne Victory were 5th on the W League table, not even in the finals as yet. Now they're currently 2nd on the table with a 6-0 lead here at Epping Stadium, and heading into a cracking clash with ladder leaders Sydney FC on Wednesday, where the two will duke it out for the Premier's Plate, or the Premiership in the W League season. See the ladder as it stands at the moment. Commiserations to Adelaide United, but there are your finalists. Brisbane Roar, of course, still to play. Could change the makeup of those 2 and 3 positions. Well, temperature drops significantly here, even though it's getting ever hotter on the pitch. That is a huge margin. And what momentum for Melbourne Victory as they finish out at least their home regular season. They'll be hoping that they'll get finals football back here.
Yeah, absolutely. A big win like this puts them in a great position leading into finals, and we touched on it earlier, but it does really create a massive advantage when you do get a home final series, and I think they'll really want to push for having that chance at having a home grand final as well.
Well, Victory's biggest ever winning margin is 7-0, so I wonder if they'll be trying to crack that as well. Certainly plenty of time left on the clock. Carroll pushes up to Rigby, who, well, you can hear the frustration in Natasha Rigby's voice.
Yeah, it's a disappointing ball there by Tash, but you can see she knows it wasn't the right decision there. She just needed to bring the ball down, stay composed, and it was such a great ball by Sarah Carroll.
Well, Gabby Gartner, no rush to get play underway. Very relaxed. Victory side playing out this one. There's been such a number of stars all over the park. Who's really impressed you, Emma? Cooney-Cross, of course, has been a standout.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been an absolute star in this game, and we can't take it away from Melina Ayres either.
Certainly can't. There could be more goal scorers on the charts here. Still on, Tiff Eliadis. Oh. She wanted to add her name to the score sheet on the turn. Couldn't quite get a purchase on that.
Oh, she's definitely wanting a goal. You can see the frustration in that shot there. It felt like her time to shine, and it was a good opportunity to make it 7.
Oh, how does it feel when you're presented with that opportunity and it doesn't quite come off?
Look, I think you can cop it on the chin when you're already 6-0 up, but it would be a little bit different otherwise.
That'll be a first W League goal for Tiffany Eliadis. Feels like if it's going to happen today, should be the day. Just over 10 minutes left in this match. Perth Glory with long flight home for the side from Western Australia. Their season done and dusted as Victory charge forward. Willing to finish this one off just yet. This is Eliadis with another go. Well, that one no closer than the previous attempt. I feel like they're feeding it in to give her a chance.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? It's just so good to see. She's hungry for a goal. She's in a good position. Ended up being a good clearance over the bar, actually. But it is just so great to see her hungry for a goal. And you can see how much it means to her. And like we've said before, Victory are not stopping. Even though they're at 6, there's more to come.
5th season for Eliadis with the Victory. Did you two play together, the Victory?
Yeah, we did. She's a great character, and she obviously had a little bit of time away from the W League, but it is just so great to see her back.
Well, Angie Beard testing her options. Martineau running through, not able to get on the end of that, but Archie Thompson, bit of a whitewash here.
Yeah, look, it's hard to obviously face a Victory team when they're in this kind of form. Knowing, again, I keep talking about the context of the season, but it's so important going into finals to have that confidence, but also to know that all your hard work throughout the season, actually, you get a medal at the end of it, and that minor premiership are something that I'm sure Hopkins will be reminding the players. And again, even in that half-time break, it would have been don't let this complacency set in, which they really haven't. And you know, you just got to feel for Perth. They went into this season not really having an out-and-out striker, and you can tell that that's something that they're really missing, but they keep improving each week, and that's the important thing, I guess, when you're leading into another season. But one player that really has impressed me, again, from Melbourne Victory over the season is Polly Dorrans, especially out in this wide area. I think she's quite new to the position. She's had to grow into it, and you know, the way that she just played before, she passed the play and played a beautiful ball down the line. So, look, it's all about leading into confidence into a big match.
Yeah, Emma Checker nodding when you mentioned Polly Doran's name.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's a good one to bring up. I think she's probably falls under the radar a little bit more than she should. She's a quiet achiever, but she's just so hardworking, and she's been a massive part of this team this year. She's so consistent. What you see is what you get. It's the same week in, week out, and she's an absolute powerhouse in how she gets up and down, you know, the fullback position all game long.
Archie also mentioned the absence of an out-and-out striker for Perth Glory, and, well, there was a list out this week of the top 50 players in the world. And Perth Glory's ex-striker was second on that list, Sam Kerr, actually carving it up for Chelsea in the Women's Super League. Great to see her on that list. I was surprised that perhaps Caitlin Ford didn't crack that list.
Yeah, Caitlin's having a phenomenal season at the moment. It's so great to see her getting back on the score sheet consistently, and obviously having her and Sam in the form that they're in leading into an Olympic year is great for the national team as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens when those players come back together finally. Long time between matches in the green and gold. Of course, as we mentioned, the Olympics not too far away, and unbelievably, well, he took over the reins on the 1st of January of this year. It'll be Tony Gustafsson's first up-close and personal meeting with the side. Have you had a chance to have a chat to him, Emma?
No, I personally haven't had a chat with him yet, but from what I hear, I've heard really positive things. I think it's an exciting time for the team moving into this, you know, period of time with not only the Olympics to look forward to, but also a home World Cup. So it'll be very different having someone external coming into, you know, the team and the group. But I think it is a great decision, and I'm excited to see what he brings.
Well, 5 minutes left here at Epping Stadium. Certainly a chance for the home side to inflict even more damage. Take that scoreline out further than 6-0 that it sits at the moment. Lily Alfeld certainly hopes that is not the case. Sends the ball towards Hannah Lowry, misses her head, but drops for Tian McKenna. Pushed up by Rigby. McKenna keeps it in. And it's Claudia Bunge, goal scorer in the second half, who tries to dispossess the Perth Glory captain, not successful on that occasion. Perth Glory push it further up the field. Angie Beard brings it down. Victory charging back up, understandably, with the more energy of the two sides. Looks to go centrally, doesn't find Martineau. It was a decent ball for the Glory, but clever goalkeeping from Garton coming well out of the area. Now Lowry twisting and turning, trying to avoid Holly Doran. It's a struggle for Perth Glory to keep up any semblance of hope in this game, which, well, fair enough, at 6-0 down.
Yeah, it's a hard way to finish the season for Perth. I think it's not really an accurate reflection of how far they have come. I know Archie's touched on it a number of times, but they have really come a long way this season. They had such a difficult start. They were faced with ongoing challenges, obviously, like all of us, but being so far away from the rest of the country and the rest of their games, it was, you know, made additionally harder for them. And they have stuck together. They've pulled off some really great performances, and I think they will be really disappointed to be finishing on a 6-0 loss, but they'll still take a lot from the season.
Indeed, well, a 6-0 win for Victory matches their biggest margin of this season as Natasha Rigby tries to keep things safe for Perth Glory. Manages to avoid Martineau, albeit temporarily. The two tumble over each other. Yeah, the last 6-0 win was in round 3. Emma Checker, I'm sure you remember Victory winning that one 6-0.
No, I can't remember that one, actually.
They also were on the end of a 6-0 hiding, though, when they played Brisbane Roar in round 5. So they've been on both ends of this equation, but a crucial time of the season for them. Glory, on the flip side, have not really had such lopsided scorelines. They did lose 6-2 to Sydney at home in round 10, but the last matches have been 1-0, 1-0 and 2-1, so nothing like this.
Yeah, no, this is a much bigger scoreline than what they've had in the last couple of weeks, and it's disappointing for them because they are such a hard-working group. And I think in saying that, with such a young group, there's so much they can take from the season, and hopefully a group like this can stick together moving forward.
Well, we're told there'll be 4 minutes of time added on to this match. Victory now really feel like they're just perhaps going through the motions, looking for opportunities, but there's no need for the urgency anymore at this match in Victoria at Epping Stadium, a home match. The last home match of the regular season ticks to a close.
Double team!
Bain retrieves for Perth Glory. And Glory attack just being really smothered at every turn. That's a good ball. It's run down by Tian McKenna. In the middle for Lowry. Good work from Eliadis. Rigby in. Gets a boot on it, but nothing really being affected for the Glory. And now it's Melbourne Victory back in possession. Leah Privatelli on the far side.
You can just see Victory have started to leave some more numbers back now. They want to, you know, finish this game off comfortably. They want to keep control of the ball. There's no need to push and force the play now. It's just a matter of playing out the game.
Well, just 2 matches after this one to be completed. With the Brisbane Roar match this evening in Brisbane. And then Wednesday's match between this Victory side and Sydney FC. Oh, it's a fumble from Alfeld. Could have been on again for Victory. I'm sure Catherine Zimmerman fancied her chances at that. Gratefully cleared, and Kayla Morrison stops the Perth Glory attack. She is aplenty from the sideline. A huge cause for celebration shortly. This Victory side securing their spot in finals football with this emphatic win today. Barbieri. Beard pumps it forward. No Navy shirts. Not sure they've run out of puff or just perhaps don't see the point.
Yeah, I would say that they're, like we said just before, you can see there are so many more numbers behind the ball. They're not pressing. They're, you know, just playing out the remainder of this match. There's no need to push hard now other than just keeping the ball.
McKenna again. Tian McKenna. Good look and a decent ball, and, well, at least it's a shot on goal. That's what Glory really have to do. Nothing too dangerous for Gabby Garton to deal with. Hasn't had to do a huge amount of work. She's got what every keeper loves thus far, and that's a clean sheet. I hope I haven't put the mockers on her.
Yeah, I was just
Taylor Morrison's trying to.
Yeah, sometimes these points of the games can actually be where there's a little bit of a slip up. So Victory, as much as they want to slow the pace of the game down and keep in control, they do have to still, you know, remain on top of what's going on, because this is where Perth could catch one off of them.
Another card from Rebecca Mackey, giving free kick to Victory and a foul on Sarah Carroll, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a big pull of the shirt back there. I would say that's out of a little bit of frustration by Sarah Carroll.
So a set piece for Victory. Cara Cooney-Cross places the ball on the ground. Oh, could there be a 7th? Waiting for Melbourne Victory. Extraordinary. It was certainly a case of Melbourne Victory being favourites on paper, but this has been dominant from the side in navy blue. Cooney-Cross's delivery. Oh, it's headed down, almost in for Martineau. Comes off the post. Now, wouldn't that have been a cracking finish for Natalie Martineau?
Oh, that is just a great chance. And again, we see such an incredible ball. Perfect positioning, and unfortunate for Nat Martineau not to get on the team sheet. Sorry, on the score sheet. And you can see Jeff having a little chuckle there, so we can obviously see that he's in good spirits with the way that the game's going. He's not too phased that one's missed.
Alexia Marino trying to effect some attack for Perth in the dying moments of this clash. Morrison back to her keeper again. Garton won't want to slip up here. Certainly not after the conversation that we had about it.
Hopefully we haven't jinxed anything.
Exactly. Well, the ball forward to Bunge as replied in kind goes over the sideline, and that is the end of 90 minutes here at Epping Stadium, and what a way for Melbourne Victory to answer questions about whether they are good enough to be in finals football. Full time here at Epping Stadium. Melbourne Victory 6, Perth Glory 0. Wow, well, that answered every question. Emma Checker, what a performance from the Victory. They should be very happy indeed with that as they head up to New South Wales.
Oh, it's an incredibly dominant performance there by Melbourne Victory. I would say that they're going into the next game feeling really confident within the group, and there's no reason why they can't push for a premiership plate spot now.